Hi guys, and welcome to another video. My name's Rob and I'm a French language learner, and I'm learning French obviously very badly and very slowly. I've been learning for 2 years. The idea of this blog is to give me some history of where I've come from and how I've improved, and also maybe to inspire you guys to keep going, because this is my first language that I'm learning. I'm not a polyglot, I'm not a language expert. I did very badly in English in school, and I've just got a desire to, I've always had a desire to learn language, and it really interests me. So here I am, and here you are. So hopefully you'll like the video. This week I've been listening. That was my main thing. I wanted to listen to as much French radio as possible to try and get myself into the kind of like the ear, the hear, to hear what people are saying and be able to understand what they're saying. How that's gone is actually pretty well. I'm actually really impressed with how much I'm understanding now compared to a little while ago. I think that's mainly because I've been boosting my vocabulary, which always helps. That I've learnt a lot of the conjugations. Mainly, I mean, even just the basic conjugations were really helpful. But then also the really common irregular conjugations, especially in like kind of future and past tenses. So yeah, if you're learning French and you want to improve, go and spend some time learning the, well, obviously you're learning your conjugations for the different verb groups, but also learn the more common and more irregular, because, you know, you've got like to make and to do and all these really, you know, avoir and all these really common French verbs are so irregular when they're conjugated. And so learning them and learning what they sound like actually really helped as well, so you can kind of place where things are being, you know, put in time in the sentence. Yeah, so that's actually helped a lot. The stumbling block I've had is kind of phrases, really, more than anything. So suddenly you'll be hearing a sentence and then suddenly someone will say something about a fish completely out of context, and you'll be like, I don't understand why this fish has come in, and suddenly you're like, well, that must have been a phrase, or a, you know, like it's raining cats or dogs, or you know, I'm a fish out of water, that kind of thing, you know, things you'd say in English which you know what they mean, but they actually mean nothing if you were in a different language. So yes, it's been going really well. I've also been talking to my French speaking contacts on Skype. Today I had a really good first hour-long conversation, which is always a bit kind of nervous for both parties. My friend is learning English and he speaks French. And obviously I'm speaking English and learning French. His English is actually really good. It's really interesting to see the similarities between the two people learning languages. I really like that. I really like seeing how he speaks sometimes. I mean, he's really good, but he speaks English in a French way, where he's using French kind of sentence construction, and I speak French in a very English way, so I forget like a lot of, we were talking about reflexive kind of meanings and verbs and those kind of things where you don't really get that in English, and yeah, how it was interesting. For speaking wise, I'm quite weak. I find that when I start to try and speak, I know a load of words, I understand a lot, but as soon as I start to speak, I'm almost instantly trying to translate from English into French, and that, because obviously I'm very naturally speaking in English, I need to then level down my English to a very basic level to then be able to translate that into French to get the meaning across, which then I find really frustrating, because I want to be able to express myself in the language, especially when my friend asked me about Star Wars, and the Jurassic Park movies, which I do feel a little strongly about. Not like massively, but you know, it was an interesting conversation and something I wanted to express myself in, so I ended up saying most of it in English. Yeah, I'm sorry, I failed. But after my listening, I'm going to push on my speaking. I'm going to continue to try and build my vocabulary using Memrise and other things like that, and I'm going to listen as much as possible to French radio. And that's going to be my goal for the next week anyway. Definitely listening first, doing as much speaking as possible, and yeah, and we'll see how it goes. Obviously going to do some reading and just normal stuff if I can pick up a book at any moment and those kind of things. Normally Wednesdays when I go swimming with my son. He does his lesson and I read the book. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, guys. If you like the video, please like it. If you want to ask me a question or if you want to give your stories